Hey, CAC 2020, how's it going? So glad that you are here. I am here with
Katie Pfeiffer.
And I'm Tom, and we're so excited that you are checking out strength training. Katie has put together some awesome workouts per usual. Those of you who have done strength training before know this, although the fun of virtual CAC is some of you are checking this out to see what strength training is about. So this first video is to introduce what we are going to be doing all week, to kind of provide introduction to what some of the warm-ups will be. And then we have 5 videos that will be for 5 days of workouts that you can do at whatever pace that you would like. And so, yeah, we're glad that you're here. Anything else you want to add before we get started?
Nope, I think that covers it.
All right, let's jump in.
So, the equipment that you will need for this week will be a foam roller or some kind of object to be able to roll on. An option would be a foam roller. I have an Nalgene bottle or something hard, maybe a frozen water bottle. There's also a lacrosse ball would work well too. That gets in there pretty deep, but if you foam rolled before, you know that that's important.
And this foam roller is going to be used for warming up, loosening up muscles, kind of breaking through muscle tissue. This will especially be helpful the later we get on in the week. Is that right?
That's correct. Very good. Thank you. We'd also like you to warm up, a 5-minute warm up, little jog outside, on a bike, something like that, just to get your heart pumping and get blood flowing. Very important. Then during the week, the equipment that you will need would be some dumbbells. So a couple of different weights of dumbbells if you have them. Okay.
What happens if you don't have dumbbells?
Well, if you don't have dumbbells, there are options. You can use what we call an odd object, and Tom here has a backpack full of books, so he's maybe using that for some of his workouts.
Yep. So this is what I've been doing throughout some of this time. If I didn't have the weights, I literally just took a bag and I just filled it with books. That's all it is. And so you could do this with your school backpack, something that is going to be sturdy enough that it'll hold the handles. This one has kind of long handles. If I had a bag that had like a short handle right here, that would be even better. So your backpack might actually work really well for that. But something that you're able to, get nice and close, and right, you can use this as a weight.
Another option might be a big bottle of Tide, full bottle of Tide.
It's true.
Okay, because it has a nice handle. I've seen people use that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Tide is what you use to wash clothes, if some of you don't know anything about that.
Sorry about that. It's funny. Another option would be kettlebells, and we have a couple of kettlebells here. But again, all of this can be done with dumbbells, a kettlebell, or odd object. Okay. If you also have a jump rope, that would be terrific, because we will be doing some jumping rope. But that is not necessary because we've got options for that as well.
Gotta look out for the items here.
Yeah.
And this rope is too short for me. That's
There it is. Okay. Yep. Well, then we might have to fix that. Another thing you may need is a box or a bench to step up on. Out here we have the bench there. You may or may not have that, or a deck outside. Depending upon the level that you want, the height that you want. Or we have steps, so you could go up on the second step for the same effect. So the other thing we would like you to have is a water bottle or something for hydration, as well as some kind of timer. Okay, you can do that on your phone. A timer on the phone would work because you could do stopwatch, you could be timing, any kind of timer will work.
These workouts are largely, sometimes it's a warm-up that's you do as much as you can through 5 minutes, or sometimes it's every 2 or 3 minutes you're going to do a certain amount of exercises. So the clock will be helpful. There's a time component to everything that Katie has put together for this week.
Very good. Thank you.
The one thing is, if you do not have a jump rope, so we recommended all this equipment to have, but obviously if you don't have it, we make do with what we've got. So if you don't have a jump rope, the other thing that you can do is you can jump. So a simple one would be to do jumping jacks in the amount of time that a workout might have jump ropes, or you can do line hops. And so that would be finding a line and just going across that line. And what you can do, let's say it's 30 seconds of jump rope, you do line hops for 30 seconds. If it's 50 jumps, do, 50 over and back, whatever it is to just simulate, get the kind of stimulus that we're looking for.
Now we are going to have Tom demonstrate the foam rolling. And he has a 3-foot foam roller. You can use a shorter one or an Nalgene bottle or something else. But what we'd like to do is have you get down on the ground or the mat. In this case, Tom's got the mat. And we will have him start with his IT band, which is in the side of his leg. So he starts at the base of his hip and he gets down on his elbow, puts that other leg in front and goes up toward his knee. He finds some tight spots. You don't want to go on the knee, but you can go all the way up to it. So this is really tight for some people and not for others. So if it hurts, we understand. Pay attention to that. And then from there, I'm going to have him roll over and get the same leg quad. So roll over to your stomach. Yep, so he's going to get the quadricep. The TFL, which is right up by your hip flexor. And again, you're going to roll up toward the knee. You're not going to hit the knee, and you can kind of rotate back and forth or stay on the spot if that helps release the tight spot.
And I can make this as easy and as hard as I want. If this is really sensitive, I can put more weight into this leg here so I'm not putting as much on the foam roller. Or if I really want to get in there, I can lift it nice and up and just put as much weight as I can tolerate on the rolling leg.
And you'll do both sides.
Quad, T-band. How long would you want to spend on each part?
I'm just depending on the tightness, I'm going to say up to 30 seconds.
Cool.
But not longer than that. Okay, from there, while he's sitting there, let's do his calves and hamstrings. So we'll hit all the leg. Calves can be very tight, as you know, if you've done strength training before. The foam roller is your friend by about Wednesday.
For sure. I have really tight calves, and so honestly, me sitting on this thing is almost enough pressure at some parts on my calves. So a lot of times if it's really sensitive, I'm even taking the leg off, or I can put the leg on to add a little pressure. Sometimes just sitting here that's because that's all the weight I can take here, or if it's feeling I could lift up. That's what provides the most pressure on the calves there.
Yep, our calves. You want to go up to the Achilles, but not onto the Achilles, and go up to the knee, but not onto the knee, the back of the knee.
The Achilles being right the tendon that kind of sticks out, so I wouldn't want to roll here. Stop right about here.
Yep. And you'll find some spots.
So tight.
Okay, from
hamstrings.
Hamstrings. Yep. Now those are the hamstrings, you're not going to feel it so much, but it still is a good thing to kind of test and see if there's a real tight spot for you, and you can kind of go backwards and forwards or side to side on any of these. Okay. Yep. And do one at a time like Tom is. It's hard to get enough pressure on there, but you'll see what I mean. This one should feel better than the IT band and the calf. Okay, from there, I would love for you to go to your thoracic spine, your T-spine. So start in the middle of your back, and I'm going to have him put the foam roller in the middle of his back, not lower than that, and he's just going to roll up his spine, and he's going to stay there. Now he could cross his arms over each other. Yep, and that gets it a little bit differently. I'm more of a fan of starting at the spine and rolling up, and then starting again at the spine versus going back and forth on it.
So you would start at the top?
I would start at the bottom and always roll up.
You want to start at the bottom.
Yep. Roll up.
And then you'd reset.
Yep. And I would actually reset. Yep.
Kind of depends probably on feel.
Yep. And sometimes you might get a little adjustment. Stay away from your neck. You want to just go to between your shoulder blades.
You got like the kind of the bone that sticks out toward the base of your neck there. You definitely don't want to be up here. So right about there is good. And at the bottom, you really want to stay in the rib cage. You have some floating ribs that you don't really want to just put pressure on. So really, right about here, kind of in line with the sternum. That's plenty.
Okay, then I'm going to have you roll your lats. Your latissimus dorsi, your back muscle, the big back muscle. So this one can be extremely tender, especially if you're tight there. So Tom is doing it very carefully because it seems to be tight there, and you're going to kind of go like I think of it as laying on the ground and like you're watching TV with your head in your hand. Try it that way, and that might just remind you of only going so far. And it really isn't a big, you aren't going to roll way up, and that one you can go up and back like this or side to side a little bit. But be very careful there because that can be very tight. And we would do both sides there. Okay, one more thing would be your glute medius.
Aha, yep.
So Tom is going to get on the foam roller. This is a little funny to get into, but I'm going to have him get on the foam roller.
I'll get on it first.
Yep. And now, so now you're going to be foam rolling the right side. So if you notice, Tom's right ankle is over his left knee, and that's a really small spot. So let's see if he finds it right there. Keep going toward you. There, you should.
Oh,
there,
yep.
he found it. It's a very small muscle, but it can be very tight and can create muscle imbalances or movement patterns that you don't want. So that's kind of an important one. Get to the other side. Yep. Go ahead and switch sides.
And then foam rolling is something that you're recommending that we do daily?
I believe in daily, and I would do it after a short warm-up. So you're a little bit warm, and you could also do it after your workout if you really felt like something was tight. But again, just be intentional about what you're foam rolling. That's very important.
So obviously foam rolling is a little uncomfy. It's not the most fun thing, but it works through muscle soreness. So like you get in the middle of the week and you're doing a whole lot of things, it can help work through some of that soreness. It also just helps with mobility. So we want to be strong and be able to, move a lot of weight and kind of do a lot of things that way. But muscles being able to move well and have full range of motion is really important, and that's part of what foam rolling can do over the long term as well. So do something to get a little bit warm every single day that you do a workout here. Spend a little bit of time with this guy. Again, everything that I did could be accomplished with an Nalgene. I'd probably fill it up with water just to have it nice and solid, but this will be a little hard, like it'll be even more, so you gotta be even more careful of how much pressure you do. But you can do calf, you can do hamstring, you can get on it to do the IT band, everything that I demonstrated with the foam roller, you can do with one of these.
And I would just be careful on your back because it's smaller. Another option would be a 2-liter bottle of empty bottle of pop, fill it with water and freeze it, and that way it's a little bit bigger. So that's another option. It'll make it hard. And then we have our lacrosse ball, which that one's going to be a little trickier, but it's certainly doable.
It's a little harder to roll, put your whole body weight on stuff like this, but this really works handheld. A lot of times I've used this to get into parts of my calf, and I can really dig in here, or just whatever. It's because you can hold it. That tends to
or in your back, and you're like under your scapula in the middle of the back. You could go up against a wall or on the floor. Just know that little guy's going to get in there pretty good. So, all right. Cool. Thank you. So the workouts are going to have a lot of reps in them. If you have not been working out regularly, I would ask that you take this slowly. And when I say slowly, just pay attention to how your body's feeling. Make sure you're good and warmed up, and make sure your form stays good throughout the whole workout. Each workout will have a warm-up, which will be like a small workout. So that's why you want to do the cardio warm-up and the foam rolling. And then it will have a small strength component, and then it will actually have like a circuit at the end. So each workout every day will have 3 components to it.
So again, this video has been meant as an introduction to go through a lot of the things that you do every day before we jump into all of the work for each day. Each day, we're really gonna jump right into demonstrating the warm-up particular that day, the strength work, and then the actual workout, the circuit. And so be sure to be doing all these different things with the cardio, kind of getting loose and the foam rolling. But then the rest of these videos, we are gonna jump right in. So we hope you guys have fun with these. And comment on the video on Facebook as these get posted, all that kind of thing. We can still interact with each other a little bit through this week, and we're so glad that you guys are here with us. We miss you, and let's have some fun.